Ciao ragazzi, my name is Anthony. Welcome back on Inter Worldwide. A fair bit to talk about. Well, not really. I just figured I wanted to go live, to be honest, just to chat to myself, to a few people, and just to look up the news for today. There wasn't going to be much, but I feel like there's more to this Frattesi thing than first encountered. So what's up, Mattia? What's up, Ian? And to any of the other 9-10 people now that are in the house on Inter Worldwide tonight. And let me know how I'm sounding, because I'm trying out a new microphone and I'm hoping that it's crystal clear. If not, I'll need to make some changes, but hoping that it's all well and good and we can move forward. Yes, it is probably 2:07 in Serbia. Slowly recovering from the final still, Matthias says. Ciao, Mike. Good to see you in the chat as well, and good to see Football Focus. Yeah, thank you so much. Let's jump right into it, because the two things that I want to speak about today, well, this is something I wanted to speak about while I was on holidays, but I didn't get the time. And then it was Ian who reminded me in a comment that he left on one of the videos the other day. I forget which video it was. But there is going to be change, and a fair bit of it coming soon, which is a good thing. We knew when Oak Tree was coming in that there was going to be a different sort of go forward strategy going forward, I should say. And if it comes in the form of younger players, I'm all down for it. And when we have a look at our detailed squad list, if you haven't really familiarized yourself with how many aging players we have in this squad, it's time to now. And don't get me wrong, I'm not the sort of football fan that panics about this sort of stuff. I don't mind if we've got experienced players in the squad. I really don't. It doesn't bother me. It never bothers me if the average age of the squad is in between 29 and 32. It really doesn't bother me, because some of our most successful eras, if not our most successful eras, have come off the back of an age average list like that. And also, I just don't think in the modern game it's necessary to plan that far into the future. Football is a fickle sport now more than ever, and the modern game really is all about results. It really is all about results, and we continue to get results. I am results orientated. I'm not necessarily project long-term orientated. Never have been, never will be. If we can lower the average age of the squad and stay as competitive as we are, then that would be fantastic. We might touch a little bit more on that towards the end. What's going on, Massimo? Very good. Changing how close I am to the mic. Fair enough. That makes a lot of sense, actually. I'll try and stay more consistent with that. Forgive me, first time I'm using an arm bracket, to be honest, so I'll just stay in a consistent spot. Let's move straight to the Frattesi thing, because I don't think that we've heard anywhere near the end of it, but I do think that I might be one of the only fans left that thinks that he's still staying until the end of the season. He knows that he's got a role to play in this club. He knows that. He's not stupid, and it hasn't changed just overnight. What we're hearing today is that Roma are going to use Cristante as bait. And if that's the case, well then, yeah, nah, that's not going to happen. Not even if you were to throw Cristante and Pellegrini in there, would I want Cristante anywhere near this football side. So Football Italia are saying that Frattesi is eager to return to Roma. We know that he's not 100% satisfied with his playing time. Napoli are the latest side to also enter the equation. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure if I'm ready to believe that. I know that Kvaratskhelia is also on the market, but I refuse to believe that these players, the Frattesis and the Kravas, are just going to be walked out in January, because you've got two teams going for a title here. Napoli and Inter directly in a title race with each other. You expect me to believe that Kvaratskhelia walks out the door and then we give them Frattesi? I mean, the only reason we do that is if we have a massive replacement lined up. So, yeah, effing Cristante, eh? Sharma said, yeah, I saw that, man. He's not watching Inter if we get Cristante. It would be an absolute joke. It would go against the Oak Tree model. I don't care what the motives would be. Like, that's a worse... That rumor is just as bad as Calabria to Juve. Both of these two sides being linked as recipients to these players. I wouldn't wish it upon either of us, to be honest, no matter how much we dislike those guys. Frattesi's future at Inter in doubt, behind-the-scenes confrontation with Inzaghi revealed. So we are hearing a little bit more about what's going on in the camp. I'm too sure I'm going to buy this either. The recent Supercoppa derby match between Inter and Milan has brought to light a growing tension within the Nerazzurri camp, centering around Frattesi. The player's lackluster appearances as a substitute during the match has raised eyebrows and sparked discussions. Yeah, we all noticed it. We all saw him not tracking that ball properly to the corner, and Taremi having a go as well. So the reports aren't stone concrete as well. This sounds just like paper talk. Paper talk. Sources close to the player reveal that Frattesi, encouraged by friends, recently sought a private meeting with manager Simone Inzaghi. The midfielder had been observed appearing disconnected and irritated at the training ground, prompting those around him to advise a face-to-face discussion with the coach to address these issues. However, the outcome of this meeting appears to have been less than satisfactory for Frattesi. He reportedly left the conversation feeling that he was not a central figure in Inzaghi's plans, interpreting the manager's stance as indifference towards whether he stays or leaves the club. So, buy it if you must. We all heard Frattesi at one point say, thank you so much, Rosemary. It's so good to see you. Appreciate it. Thank you very much for that. Beautiful donation. Ian says, I don't know if he does know his role. Last season, his passion was infectious. Now the body language is horrible. His head is definitely turned. Unfortunately, he isn't up for working for his spot. Agree, man. Not only that, like you're in a team going for the title. He still knows what his role was, and it was going. His minutes have increased, and they will keep increasing. At the end of the day, the position that he's looking to occupy is occupied by the best midfielder in Europe in that role. Simple as that. After this season, Frattesi, Damian, Acerbi, Aslani, Arnautovic, Buchanan, and maybe Mickey have to go. I'm going to get to a list soon, so thanks for bringing that up. 45 million is good money, but you have to weigh that up with helping a title rival. Yeah, 100%. And we'd need to have a replacement in ASAP. Someone who's willing to hit the ground running in that position as well, whether it be Ricci or someone else. I don't know. He's not easy to replace in that bench role. That's the thing. He's perfect for what he is at the moment. He's perfect for what he is at the moment, but he still hasn't been putting in fabulous performances. Don't get me wrong. Mike says, if you look at the calendar, it's pretty clear Frattesi will be getting a lot more minutes in January, February, which will be indicative of interest. Yeah, very well said. I don't believe for a second that he's actually going in January, but if we were to get offers of 40, 45 million in January, you do take the cash and run. Although, again, I don't think he's going that quick. I can't completely blame Frattesi here. He was probably promised more after his first season, and now Zielinski came and he fell even lower on the priority list. They're two completely different players, though, Frattesi and Zielinski. So the thing about Inzaghi is that he's not willing to rotate Mkhitaryan even. Like it's insane, but we can't really complain, Matteo, because we dropped the Super Cup game, but none of our issues this season have been because of midfield rotation. None of them. The midfield has been quite solid. 2 out of the 3 are regarded as probably best in Europe in their roles. Hakan probably not, but still up there. And Mkhitaryan continues to defy his age. He's being lauded on English media at the moment. Like they can't believe sometimes that he's still starting for Inter. They need to believe it because everywhere he's been effective at every club. So it's tough now because we thought that Mickey's spot would be occupied, like Ian's saying, but Mickey has merited his spot this season again. He's pulling an Eden Jekyll all over again, and I'm not ready to get rid of Mkhitaryan. No way. I'd say extend him for 1 more year at this point in time. If it's going to come at the sacrifice of minutes of other players, are the other players really as good as we make them out to be? Is Frattesi really good? Is Zielinski really that ready? I'd like to say yes. There's no place for Frattesi, like Mattia's saying. Eduardo says he's not happy, and that can reflect on his performances. It's the same that happened with Perisic, 2 seasons where he played bad the first half, requested a change, stayed, and played his ass off for the end of the year. Facts. I want to take a look at let's put that to bed for now. We don't need to talk about Frattesi much more. But what we will do is we will take a nice look at our detailed squad, and you'll pretty much see that we are in. It's going to be a transitional time. It is time for a change, and we're going to get that change. With the rumors around Frattesi and Aslani already, it's almost a safe bet to say that Oaktree, Marotta, Inzaghi, they're resound to the fact that we are going to have some players off the book soon. How quickly are we going to be able to replace them, and with what players, is starting to worry me because we have had a very good era, even post Conte. If you take the Conte era into fact and the Inzaghi era, it's been good. We've been the best team in Italy, but we haven't reached the levels of dominance that I wanted to reach. I'd love a back-to-back title. That would really, really cement this as a very, very successful dominant era. If you can get a back-to-back title on top of the Coppa Italias and the Super Coppas that you've won, but we've just sacrificed one of those trophies, haven't we? So we need to win number 21 now. That now needs to be a bare minimum requirement for this season. Nothing else than a Scudetto will satisfy now. Let's see what players play a role in winning that league and which players want to move on, because I dare say when we now bring up this list, it's looking slimmer than we probably gave it credit for. But we knew that this was going to come. We knew that this sort of issue was going to come back again at some point. So I allude to the fact that the youngest players on the squad, that's right, we've got no teenagers, none. Palacios, who is on loan with an option or an obligation. No, he joins. Yeah, that's right. Joined for 6.5. Aslani at 22, our youngest, now looks to be sold. Bisek, a breath of fresh air after getting him for about 11 million in total, I believe. Or was it like, no, it might have been even less than that. It might have been less than that, actually. I'm just going to pull that up. He transferred to Inter for 7 mil. We got him for 7 mil, and his value's up to 30 already. It's a fantastic signing. It's a 9 out of 10 signing, really, on the Marotta resume, to be honest. Bastoni, 25. Frattesi, 25. Buchanan, 25. Frattesi and Buchanan, both names that are looking to be on the transfer list. Josip Martinez, 26. Carlos Augusto, 26. Federico Di Marco, 27. Nico, 27. Turam, 27. Lautaro Martinez, 27. Denzel, 28. Benji, 28. Now, I will give credit to one thing here. If we can replace some of the older players that we're going to bring up soon on the screen with younger players, the middle core that's about to become the senior core is going to be a very, very sexy senior core. This senior core can end up carrying us to many more trophies. The reason why I'm not losing my cool about our situation is because if we can hang on to the central core and replace the older ones with good younger players, which it shouldn't be too many, we will be fine. What do I mean by this? I mean that a central core of of Alessandro Bastoni, even though he would be younger, Carlos Augusto, Federico Di Marco, Nico Barella, Marcus Thuram, or a Marcus Thuram replacement. It might happen. Just keep entertaining it. Lautaro Martinez, Denzel Dumfries, Benji Pavard. That's a very, very, very healthy central core to take forward. You know, in an era where our senior players have always been about 3 or 4, you can really end up with about 6, 7, or 8 in this bracket here. Dumfries, Pavard, Lautaro, Thuram, Barella, Di Marco, Augusto, Bastoni. These players that would then adopt more of a senior role going forward would be the healthiest senior core, central senior core moving forward that we've had since the treble. Easily. This core can still get better mentally. That's a really, really good core to have going forward next season. I'll go to the comments and then we'll talk about players that need to be sold in order for us to hang on to this central core so that we make space for some younger signings, that we can take a few risks, because there won't be guarantees. Not every 7 million euro Bisek is going to be a Bisek. What are we saying? Winter is meant to plan for the next season, like Buchanan. Yeah, this isn't stuff that's going to happen in January. This is stuff that will all happen end of the season. So there is going to be change. It just won't happen in January. Besides Frattesi and Barella as Mezzala is not a good combination. No, there's not enough technical quality there for it to work. There's not enough technical quality there for it to work, unfortunately, and I would have to agree. Mickey does the defensive duties, which Frattesi can't do as well. Mkhitaryan defies age. He's fantastic. There's 21 people on Inter Worldwide right now. Can you please like the video? It helps a lot. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Share it around. We knew that at the end of the season there would be quite the turnover. Problem is that Oak Tree are a big question mark right now with their spending 100%. We can't just flood the squad with youth. Definitely not. We're not ready for that just yet. Like Beppe said, there has to be a balance. Exactly. And that's why we can really keep the balance well if we transition properly. We're still going to need to spend money to replace the outgoing players. That money is going to have to come from somewhere. Facts. Take Acerbi, Sommer, and Dams, and the average age drops to 25. 2 out of those 3 are probably staying next season, mate. Would you say, would I sell Lautaro? Yeah, I would. Sell Aslani and Frattesi and sign SMS and Ricci. Sign SMS. From where? Saudi Arabia. Wow. Plus replace Mkhitaryan with a young profile. Yeah, that's not going to happen. We're going to end up selling Aslani and Frattesi, and it will be someone like Ricci, and then a nobody, a non-name as well. That's if we do replace these 2 midfielders with just one. Yeah, I don't think both of these midfielders are leaving in January. That's my point. SMS is done and dusted. Yes, he is, man. Yes, he is. As soon as he left Lazio, we saw it. You can't just bring him back to Italy now and expect him to hit the ground running. No way. No chance at all. Anyway, let's go back and have a look at this list again and move towards the senior players. I'm glad I impromptu decided to do a stream today. This is nice. We've got a nice little crowd here today. Gab says, just going to add to the conversation, we have a buyback clause for Fabian next summer. I'm not sure if he's good enough for Inter, but he probably will be. He's worth an option off the bench. I'm sure he'll give it a go for a year or two. Humor us and check what players over 33 there are for free. Yeah, we'll have a look. We'll have a look, Eduardo. In terms of our players that are over 33, Hakan and Zielinski are both 30. Only one of them, I think, remains past this season, and it's not going to be Hakan. I genuinely do think that if his market value is at that point and people want to offer that, I do think he'll leave end of this season. Correa at 30 will also leave. Di Gennaro probably will stay. De Vrij, I think, is just extended now 1 more year. Is this when their contract ends? Yes, their contract is ending soon. He still needs to actually officially put pen to paper for that. So until he does, we won't count anything. Taremi, 32. Arnautovic, 35. Damian, 35. Mkhitaryan, 35. Zoma, 36. Acerbi, 36. So you can believe that Arnautovic and probably Acerbi are coming off the books there. Probably coming off the books there. Oh, yeah, they are, because their contract runs out anyway. Let's actually have a look at those contracts. So you can best believe that the only one out of Di Gennaro is probably going to get extended, though, just because he's cost effective. Arnautovic will go. Correa will go. Zoma stays. Damian probably stays. Mkhitaryan probably goes, in my opinion. One of Damian and Mkhitaryan probably goes. But at the same time, Matty Dams wouldn't be the worst makeshift Danilo D'Ambrosio. It'd just be another Danilo D'Ambrosio. We've had those before. We might have those again. Casino was saying Esposito back. If I'm not mistaken, I think Empoli now can exercise their right of obligation, which they will, because that's not that much. I'm pretty sure as long as they avoid relegation, which they will, they can exercise their right of obligation on Esposito, and I think that they will, man. You've seen the link yesterday regarding Fabian. Let's cross-reference that, see how we go. So we can buy him back for only 12 million. Huh. Well, Christian Kivu is said yesterday that he backs him to succeed. Yeah, I think that we might actually see him get another chance. That would be a good move, actually. Getting Fabian back in Aslani's spot would be pretty good there. How long did we end up loaning him out for? He played against Verona, didn't he? He played 89 minutes against Verona. He scored a goal this season as well. Look, obviously, he's a lot more attacking. A lot more attacking player than Aslani. He's not a regista. We know that. But in terms of what he could do off the bench as an extra midfielder in this squad, yeah. And I think, it's 5 million for Sebastiano Esposito, which is a very good deal for Empoli in this market. You really think Inzaghi will let Mickey leave before he turns 48? Yeah, we'll see. I wouldn't be opposed to Mkhitaryan staying one more season. Yes, I'm concerned over the Regista position as well. At the moment, it looks like we might need two. We might need two of them. So it's looking a little bit bleak. Kivu is meant to return to take over the under-23 team that we are creating. Yeah, I can't wait for that to come through, man. I really cannot wait for that to come through. Is there any update on that, Ian? Like, I'll look it up myself. Inter under-23 team. That's something that's been holding us back lately. We really, really need that. We really need that. Over the last 6 months, there's been a lot of news on the creation of an under-23s team that will compete in Serie C, the third tier of the league. Prior to this week, we knew that this is a priority for the management and the new ownership of Oak Tree. The aim is to have the under-23 team ready for next season. An obstacle for the under-23 team is the training facilities. While a solution is found, one idea would be for the under-23 team to train at Interello, Inter's Youth Development Center, with a future idea to buy and develop the land around Appiano Gentile for new fields so that the B team will train close to the first team and monitored by first team staff for call-ups. For games, Inter's under-23 side could play their matches out of Varesina Stadium, home of Serie D's Varesina. Calcio Varesina is partners with Inter and under the Youth Development umbrella. I like it. The manager of the under-23 side next season is expected to be one of the following names: Daniele Bernazzani, I've never heard of him before. Andrea Zanchetta, never heard of him before. Samir Handanovic, wow, and Christian Kivu, who is represented as the most likely. This is very interesting, so I'm just going to keep reading it. This is very interesting stuff. I'll go back to the screen with the comments in a sec. The current assistant sporting director, Bacin, is set to become the sporting director of Inter's future under-23 side. It is not certain if Matteo Cocci will be a part of the under-23 side next season. These players now. The core of Inter's under-23s are expected to be Alessandro Caligaris, Christos Alexiou, Giacomo Stabile, Francesco Stante, Luca Di Maggio, Thomas Barenbroek, Luca Topolovic, Giacomo De Pieri, Isiaka Kamate. All right. I like it. I like it. I'm very, very excited about this. This is very good. This is good thinking forward as the club. And I really, really want stuff like this to happen. This is stuff that should have happened a long time ago, a very, very long time ago. And I'm very, very happy that it's finally happening now, to be honest. Better late than never, I know. But yeah, very, very happy at the same time. What are you guys thinking about that? Ian, what are you thinking about that, man? We'll be there, yep. Found out there is a new team in Milan, Luciano Milano, playing Serie C and use the old Inter Stadium, I believe. Oh, really? That's very interesting stuff. I didn't know that. Few great prospects in our Primavera. Yep. Under-23s team will be good. Very exciting stuff. These are the sort of positive things that I can really, really get behind. Really get behind. So a lot of these players have to go, gang. And you know what? It wouldn't surprise me if there's some controversial ones as well. Like Taremi, if he doesn't start hitting some numbers, he moves on for something at the end of the season, because what's he worth? 8 million. Can probably get a little bit more for him, to be honest. Especially if an Arab side or a Turkish side was to put their money down. Correa, obviously he's going to go for free. Good pickup as a free agent. So is Arnautovic. It's a shame that we couldn't sell them earlier. Like at the end of the Scudetto season, ideally you get a 5 million offer for Correa or a 3 million offer for Correa, 5 million offer for Arnautovic, even less, and you pocket something for them. But we never have been great at selling, let's face it. Although Marotta, good masterstroke with Onana. He's made a couple of good ones. I shouldn't have said that we're horrible at selling. We're not horrible at selling. We could be better. It is a really bad sound once you are not close to the mic. This wasn't the case before. All right, I'll stop turning away. I was just doing something before. That's why. What else have we got? There's not much other news to discuss, eh? There's not much else to discuss. It's been a pretty quiet week. Apart from the Frattesi news, we're just also sort of counting down to Venezia, aren't we? couple of pieces of news about the stadium, but nah. Yeah, any sort of money would have been good for those guys. Any sort of money would have been good for those guys, but oh well, not to be. Did you guys hear that Al Hilal offered money to Nico Barella? Triple his salary, you know. But there's no way he's going to trade up Italy for the Arabs just yet. Definitely not. Skriniar might go to Spurs or Galatasaray. That doesn't really interest me, to be honest. He can go wherever he wants now. That's definitely yesterday's news. Yeah, that's about it. All right, let's look ahead to Venezia and then we'll call it quits for today. So we traveled to Venice. It would have been a lot easier for us to be playing this game at the San Siro. And I think that we've got some decent team news before this match, though. I think we've got some decent team news. I think Benji Pavard will start from the bench. I think that's obviously Hakan is out of this game. So this will really tell, like, put it this way. If Zielinski is starting over Aslani, you might as well start getting ready to photograph him at the airport leaving in January. So I highly doubt that's going to happen. All right, I'll stay close to the mic. Sorry, guys. Sorry, I'm still getting used to it. Crowder to PSG is also looking at Frattesi. Yeah, but I seriously don't think. I think this is just paper talk for both of them. We're both in a title race, man. You can't be going and selling players like this. Cheeky bastards making a salary offer behind our backs. Yep. Barelli's leaving to Saudi in the summer. Yeah, right. No way. You can take, like, he's going to take his family there. Wonder when Acerbi will come back. I'm sort of starting to think that he might not come back. I'm starting to think that he might only play 1 or 2 more games, because if he can't play himself into form, I don't think he's going to be starting many football matches for us again. But it would be great to have him back. What's going on, Christian Reyna? Good to see you, man. Appreciate it. All right. Bastoni possibly to start in the center of the defense. I know we're looking very thin at the back. So Bisek will start on the right. And you'll probably see Augusto on the left. Probably see Augusto. De Vrij is not in ideal condition. I think Benji Pavard will start from the bench. So providing it's not too hard of a match, which it shouldn't be, I think De Vrij will get some minutes. And if so, good. If Frattesi doesn't start or play against Venezia, this is a signal he's leaving. Yeah, I would say that as well. Look for the signs in this fixture. We're playing the team coming dead last or second last. So if Aslani and Frattesi can't get their minutes there, then the manager has not only lost faith, he has already agreed behind the scenes to the board. No, I don't think we're signing anybody in January at all. I'd still love Chiesa, to be honest. I don't care if people say he won't fit our system. Correa can't play football. Arnautovic sucks. Taremi, yeah, he scored in the Super Coppa, but Lautaro's out of form. So give me any forward that can score in Serie A and has scored before. Yeah, I miss Acerbi too, because at the end of the day, he's still a better player than Stefan de Vrij. All right, guys, I think that's going to pretty much wrap it up. Yeah, it would be good to see Benji Pavard back. I know Bisek has played well, but he has still shown his lack of experience, and he's still shown that he really, really needs more time. The fact that he's valued at 30 million at the moment is just, is absolutely bizarre. Absolutely bizarre. But he's worth it, and he's got that physicality. That's what everybody wants at the end of the day at the moment. Physicality, athleticism, stamina, the ability to play the game for long periods of time. Yeah, that would be nice, but unless we're getting him for free, then we're not going to get him now. I like Hien, Kamuso. Tar looks too hard to get even in the summer. Yeah, Tar does look a little hard to get in the summer. That Juma Bar guy looks awesome, but he's only 18. I like the fact that we're lowering the squad, and I've seen some highlights of him only because when I saw his name the other day, that was the first time I've heard of him. I've never heard of him before in my life. Never. So, yeah, we'll see what happens, guys. Don't hold your breath for any signings. Don't hold your breath for anything to change apart from the outgoings. That's the big thing that's going to change. We'll to start thinking about signings towards the end of the season. If they send through Dybala and Pellegrini and some cash, that would be ideal. But now we're just getting greedy. For me personally, the Pellegrini idea is not a bad idea. If they were to come forward with Pellegrini and 25 million or Pellegrini and 30 million, that would be great. Pellegrini's not worth really $1 more than 15. So don't entertain low ball offers there. If we can fleece them, great, we'll fleece them. If not, then we'll see what happens. Once again, it's on our terms. Marotta made it very, very clear that it's on our terms. So let's enjoy the fact that we don't need to sell. And we're definitely not going to sell to a direct rival unless we really have a contingency plan. However, the more I'm looking at the likes of a Dybala Pellegrini for Frattesi swap, I would enjoy it because I feel like any of those players, Pellegrini and Dybala, will achieve more with us in the next 3 to 4 months, will achieve more with us than Frattesi will, and will help us get towards a 21st title, which would be amazing. You know what else would be amazing? Bringing back Eden Dzeko, who is still a beast. And that is the note that we're going to end on today. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. I will be back soon, very soon. I hope everyone's enjoying the content. And yeah, Forza Inter. I'll see you guys for Venezia. Ciao.